Lauren.
Hey, Kayla.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back. This week we're going to go through Psalm 3. So I encourage you, if you have not read Psalm 3 yet, to pause this video and read it, and then come back and pick up where you left off. This psalm, I tell you what, this is, like last week, it's not like a known psalm. It's not one of those psalms that we, constantly remember. And so reading through this psalm over the last couple of weeks and studying into it, I've been like mind blown at some things. So I'm excited to share with you. The one thing I kind of want to talk about in this psalm is that we kind of see humanity in these biblical characters. Like we see the true humanity of these biblical characters. I don't know about you, but quite often I sometimes think because they're biblical characters like David and Noah and Abraham and Paul, like they were just way more righteous than I ever was. And they were like perfect Christians. But we see in Psalm 3, just starting right out the bat, that that's not the case. They're people just like we are. We see that David is crying out to the Lord. He's asking how many are against him. And talking about, these people are saying that there is no help for him in God, and so that's like a hard thing, I think, to deal with, even as Christians for me now. But just crying out to the Lord, he's just not understanding, like, God, why? Does that make you think of anybody else in Scripture?
Well, there's lots of people, but Jesus, he definitely cries out to the Lord in his distress.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely right. So Jesus, which is cool to think about, that even the God of the universe had this moment. Jesus, when he became flesh, had this moment, had multiple moments, not just one, but multiple moments of humanity. And the first place, one of the first places that comes to mind is in Matthew 28:39, where he's in the Garden of Gethsemane before he gets arrested, and he's saying, "My Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not I, but your will be done." And so just thinking about, like, Jesus is saying, like, God, if there's any other way, like in that split second, if there's any other way, please let it pass. And then it comes back to, like, but if not, your will be done. So I think that we can take, solace in the fact that David and Jesus even cried out to the Father. I think of multiple times in my life where I've been just so, why me, God? Has there, obviously there's probably been a time, but can you share with us maybe a time in your life where you just cried out, like, God, why me?
Yeah. I remember one of the hardest, times as a young lady growing up was in college. It's really introverted, but I was a believer, and I felt God calling me out of that some because it was unhealthy. I was extremely comfortable just being by myself, and I was really convicted one time through scripture reading that, Lauren, if you're going to be like me and follow like me, you're going to have to love people. And I just wasn't even going after anybody. I was really by myself, and I was happy to be. And it didn't change overnight. And I think that's where the hard part, crying out part was, because I would try things and feel embarrassed and fail and just be utterly I didn't know what to do. Felt very alone, kind of trying to make friends and not really knowing what to do with that. And so I remember crying out a lot of times, like, why don't you just fix me? Why don't you just get it over with and fix me? And God's gracious, he revealed a lot of himself through that. And so I'm thankful that he took what was really hard and, helped me to see more of him in it.
I like how you said that he revealed a lot of himself. Because even, through the rest of the psalm, we can see that David kind of reassures himself that the Lord is his shield and that the Lord sustains him. And I think, that same thing, the truth is, that's the same for us. In verses 4, which I will read really fast because I think it's important, verses 4-6, he says, "I cry out to the Lord and he answers me from his holy mountain. I lie down and sheep I lay down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I'm not afraid of thousands of people who have taken their sin against me on every side. You know, so that's the Lord working in David. So David's it's nothing David's doing. It's what the Lord's kind of working in through him. He knows that the Lord is his shield, that he can only do this, and he can only be sustained through God. So I thought that was really cool. And then just wrapping it up, you know, David, he says he's not going to strike back at these people with hateful words or fight, because he understands the Lord's fights our battles, you know. And so, I mean, it's all true for us as believers. You know, we can stand firm in knowing that God sustains us, and that he does fight our battles. So I often think about times where I question God, you know, and thinking about, I work in the secular world. I don't work in a Christian environment. It's an amazing place to work, but there have been times where just being discouraged of people know that I'm a believer, and things get, you know, you don't hang out after work, you don't go to the bars with us after work, like, and that being hard, because it then makes it a little bit harder to almost fit in with these people. And I just wonder, like, God, why could I not work in a Christian environment? Why am I here? And then just the reminder, then I remind myself, like, David, like, God's going to sustain me. And what an awesome opportunity it is to work with these people and show them the love of Christ. Even though they're not inviting me to hang out in the bars with them or to drink after work or whatever, I still get to shine a light through them. And knowing that the Lord is working through me to show that. Or even with Hannah, we tried so long to try to have Hannah, and trying now. We've been trying for 2 years now, and thinking, God, why me? But remembering, that's really important for me to remember through even trying to have another baby. It's like God sustains me. He knows what's best, you know. So a few things I would love for us to think about in our quiet time after this video is, how are you like David in regards to questioning things that you're going through or things that you've been through? And then how can you take that and turn that back to the Lord? So just like David, questioned God at the beginning and then turned it back to the Lord, and realizing that the Lord sustains him and the Lord is his shield, and he can find comfort and rest in Jesus. How can you then take the situation that you're going through, maybe it's this virus, who knows, that you're going through, and turn it back to Jesus? Yeah. So, if you guys don't mind, just taking 5 minutes after this, set a timer for yourself, meditate on the scripture, pray, answer your questions, leave your comments below, or comment if you're in our ladies group. We have a page that you can comment on as well. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.